friends, the story begins with a game developer named Tim, who suddenly loses his internet connection. Tim can't talk to his team anymore. And in that moment, he starts remembering his past. How happy he was with his wife Olivia. Olivia was pregnant. Their family was about to grow. But then some problems came up. Thinking about all this makes Tim feel sad. And right then Olivia shows up. She takes Tim outside. Renovations were going on in their building, and that's when they both saw that a fire had broken out in the distance, in Harbor City. Thick smoke was rising from that area. After that, Olivia shows Tim their old van. But seeing that brings back more memories for Tim. Olivia says, "Let's just leave for Paris right now. I've already quit my job. Let's make a fresh start." But Tim wanted to finish his game. He couldn't leave his work. Hearing this, Olivia feels upset. That night, she starts crying. At 6 in the morning, Tim wakes up. He gets up and sees that Olivia is about to leave him forever. But now, a strange black wall had appeared right outside their door. Olivia tells Tim, "Remove this wall and let me go." But Tim has no idea what this wall is either. They check the windows, but even there, the same wall is visible. When they try looking outside from other parts of the house, they see the wall everywhere. Olivia kicks the wall in frustration. Their phone signals go dead. Even the Wi-Fi stops working. That's when Tim notices that when he brings his phone close to the wall, it reacts in a strange way. After that, Olivia tries to drill into the wall. But the drill turns completely red, and not a single scratch appears on the wall. They start drilling into the other walls in their home, but they realize the entire building is surrounded by this strange wall. Then they hear a sound coming from the side wall. They drill into it and check, and find their neighbors on the other side. They're also scared. No one understands what's going on. One of Tim's neighbors, Marvin, is a drug addict, and his wife Anna is terrified, asking, "Are we going to die here?" Tim then realizes they don't even have running water in the house. There's nothing left to drink. Tim says, "There's got to be a way out, just like in games." Olivia replies, "This isn't one of your stupid games. We should have left yesterday. But you wanted to finish your game." Hearing that, Tim throws his phone at the wall in frustration, and a piece of the phone sticks to the wall. That means the wall is magnetic. Tim shows this to Olivia. They stick all their metal objects to the wall. They discover that the wall has 4 sections where the magnetic pull is strongest. All 4 are square-shaped. They place everything metal onto those 4 squares. The objects start moving, but suddenly, they all shoot back toward Tim and Olivia. Olivia is unharmed, but Tim's back gets covered in blood. Olivia pulls the metal pieces out of his back and puts bandages on him. They sit down and start eating chips. Suddenly, the neighbors next door start yelling and fighting. Seeing this, Tim and Olivia drill through that part of the wall a little more. Tim grabs a bat and enters their apartment. There are blood stains everywhere. Anna is badly injured. Olivia picks her up. Just then, Marvin attacks Tim. Olivia sprays him with pepper spray. But then we learn the truth. Marvin didn't hurt Anna. Anna was trying to break through the wall and accidentally injured Marvin. All the blood was actually Marvin's, and both of them were high at the time. Tim ties up Marvin's hands, saying it's necessary until the drugs wear off. Then, Tim notices a private room in the building, owned by the building's manager. He breaks it open. Even the black wall shakes a little. Tim and Olivia start inspecting the room. They find a small hidden camera and an axe. Marvin eventually regains consciousness. He's sobered up now. Olivia says, "We should move downward." She explains that the building was constructed during World War II. There's a safe shelter beneath the ground floor, and those shelters connect to underground subways. Maybe they can get out from there. They begin breaking through the floor using the axe. Tim breaks through and ties together some clothes to make a rope, and climbs down. Below, an old man named Mr. Oswald lives. He points a gun at Tim, and tells him to go back quietly. Mr. Oswald is a war veteran, so he knows that in such times, people steal each other's rations. Tim tries to explain, and then Mr. Oswald's granddaughter Leah shows up from behind, telling him they're not our enemies. They might be able to help us get out. So Mr. Oswalt agrees and tells them that there's a tunnel leading outside under the building. Everyone comes down to that floor one by one. Marvin says, "Please untie me." Tim agrees and unties his hands. And then, they begin breaking through the next floor as well. But here, Tim notices a fire alarm with a hidden secret camera inside it. Oswalt says, "That's not mine. It belongs to the building owner." So Tim checks the fire alarm installed on the ceiling of Mr. Oswalt's apartment and finds a camera hidden inside that one too. Marvin says, "This is starting to feel like a game. Maybe we're part of some reality show." Olivia says, "We should talk to the building owner about all of this. He used to live next door." They break down that wall too. But once they get inside, they discover that the building owner, Friedman, is lying dead. His hands had been cut off. Seeing this, Olivia starts panicking. Marvin feels like throwing up. That's when Tim finds photos of the black wall on Friedman's phone. They begin breaking through the floor below once again. Everyone starts coming up with their own theories. But suddenly, the floor beneath them collapses, and they all fall down. Everyone gets hurt. Only Oswalt and his granddaughter Leah are still safe up top. They come down using a ladder. And that's when they meet a man named Yuri. He was a friend of Anton, another guy who lived in the building. Tim shares his theory with Yuri. But Yuri says, "You have no idea what's really going on here." He tells them that poison is spreading everywhere, and this wall is actually protecting them from it. Then we learn that Anton is dead. Yuri says maybe his pacemaker failed. Tim remembers, yeah, things stopped working near the wall. Yuri tells everyone they should stay here, but Olivia, Marvin, and Anna want to leave. After they leave, Leah finds some research papers on Anton's desk. Yuri says, this wall killed him. He became obsessed with figuring out how to get past it, and that's what led to his heart failure. Yuri tells Leah, good luck, and sends her away. He then rips up the research papers. After that, Tim breaks through the floor and reaches the basement. They even find a possible exit. They break open the exit door. But beyond that door is the same black wall. Everyone is heartbroken after seeing it, but Yuri stands above, smiling. Marvin, in anger, starts smashing the wall with an axe. Mr. Oswalt pulls a gun on him. So Marvin takes the gun and shoots bullets at the wall. But the bullets bounce back off the wall and fly right at them. Everyone manages to dodge, except Mr. Oswalt. He gets hit by one of the bullets. Seeing this, Leah breaks down crying. Mr. Oswalt dies right in front of her. Everyone is devastated to find that even the basement exit is blocked by the wall. Anna says, why us? Maybe there's a reason we're all here. Anna reveals, when I was 15, I died for 2 minutes. Leah says, 2 years ago, my mom died of cancer, and I was with her at the time. Yuri confesses, I've killed people. I'm a police officer. So because of Marvin, Mr. Oswalt died. And now it's clear all of them have had a close encounter with death in some way. Yuri asks Olivia and Tim about their story. Olivia says, we lost our baby. As soon as Tim hears that, he walks away. He asks Olivia, why did you have to share something like that with everyone? Olivia says, forget them. But shouldn't we at least talk about it? That's when we learn that since the miscarriage, Tim had never once talked to Olivia about that day. After the miscarriage, he had just buried himself in his game development, quietly. Olivia says, I needed you the most at that time, but you never wanted to talk about it. And even now, you don't want to start a new life with me in Paris. I want to start over, but maybe that's just not possible with you. While thinking about all this, Tim suddenly remembers the photos on Friedman's phone. He says, we need to search his apartment. Maybe we'll find something useful there. But Yuri wasn't interested in any of this. He says, I'd rather play cards than do all that. Leah says they should also check Anton's notes. She and Olivia begin going through them. Leah notices Anton might have been trying to figure something out with the pattern of the floor tiles. Meanwhile, upstairs, Tim realizes Friedman's room is smaller than the room above it. That's when he figures out there's another hidden room behind this one. Marvin finds something like a remote in a drawer. There's a 4-digit code required to open that room. Tim asks Anna to bring some flour. On the other side, Leah finds Anton's business card. He worked as a programmer at a nano defense company. Yuri says Anton never talked much about his work. Then, Leah finds Anton's broken laptop and some more research papers. One of them has a word code written on it. Yuri warns, if you open that wall, those toxic rays will come in. Meanwhile, Tim sprinkles flour on the remote to reveal fingerprints. Anna goes down and brings Olivia back upstairs. Tim tries 24 different code combinations and finally opens the secret door. That's when they discover Friedman had installed cameras inside all of their apartments. He had been watching all of them. Even Marvin and Anna's private moments were recorded. And in one of those recordings, they see exactly how that black wall suddenly appeared last night. The scene then shifts to Leah downstairs. She's thinking about what Anton might have discovered. Leah walks over to Anton's body and sees strangulation marks on his neck. Just then, Yuri appears behind her. At the same time, upstairs, the others play Anton's video footage. They see that Anton had somehow opened the wall. And then, Yuri strangled him to death. Downstairs, Marvin sees Yuri burning Anton's research papers. He's also killed Leah. Yuri tells Marvin, "You have to understand, this wall is protecting us." After watching the recordings, Tim runs toward Yuri. Yuri had been holding Marvin hostage. A fight breaks out between Tim and Yuri. Yuri starts overpowering Tim. But then, Marvin kicks Yuri from behind and points Mr. Oswald's gun at him. Tim knocks Yuri unconscious. They tied up Yuri. Tim hands the gun to Marvin and tells him, "Keep an eye on him." He then goes to Olivia and says, "Lee's death wasn't your fault." Anna says, "I don't know why Yuri killed her." That's when Tim notices Anton's burned notes. Anna says, "There might be something in this room's video recordings." Olivia says, "What if this wall is a code?" She adds, "Regular walls are built from identical bricks, but this one has a unique pattern." Seeing the burned notes, Tim suspects these might be interval codes. Interval codes are even more complex than Morse code. Then Olivia shows Tim Anton's company card. Tim says, "Look, this company is located in the same area where that fire broke out yesterday." They ask Yuri, "Tell us, how did Anton open that wall?" But Yuri refuses to say anything. Tim points a gun at him and asks, "That fire in the harbor district, did it happen at the Nano Defense Company?" Yuri replies, "Yes." He says, "This wall is for our protection. It's shielding us from atomic, biological, chemical, every kind of attack." Yuri believed that a war was happening outside. Olivia asks, "Then why did Anton want to go out?" Yuri says, "He thought something in the system was broken, and that's why he tried to open the wall. So I had to kill him." By now, it's very clear. Yuri was a complete psycho. He tells Marvin, "Just watch. No matter what happens, you're the one who's going to ruin everything." That's when Marvin loses his temper and starts beating him up. Tim pulls Marvin away to stop him. Then they hear Anna calling them from upstairs. "Come take a look. Anton spent hours researching this." Tim realizes Anton had programmed an app that helped him open the wall. But Yuri had destroyed his phone. So Tim extracts the data from Anton's broken phone. That's when he realizes the wall didn't use interval codes. It used optical codes. Anton had unlocked the wall using flashes from his phone. Tim loads the app into another phone and brings it in front of the wall. The app selects the same 4 squares from the wall. When Tim presses them on the phone sends out optical signals using the flash, which causes the wall's patterns to shift. It begins to look like a portal. Anna puts her hand inside. She feels something warm on the other side. Suddenly Marvin shouts, "Pull your hand back out." But Anna's hand gets stuck inside. They try to pull her back, but the portal begins sucking in half of her body. The wall starts turning solid again. And in the middle of all that, Anna dies. Marvin breaks down crying. While inside, Yuri starts laughing hysterically. Seeing this, Marvin shoots Yuri multiple times. Then, in pain, he turns the gun on himself and pulls the trigger. Now only Tim and Olivia are left. They sit together and talk things out. Tim says, I was such an idiot. And yet somehow, you stayed with me." The two of them hug. Then they return to the wall again. Now, they have to press the 4 squares in the correct pattern, just like Anton did, like entering the right code. Each square gave off a different number of flashes. For example, square 1 gave 1 flash, square 2 gave 5 flashes. Olivia says, "We can check Anton's video recording to see the exact pattern he used to press them." They watch the video and figure out the correct pattern from the number of flashes. But suddenly, Yuri regains consciousness downstairs. He wasn't dead after all. Yuri charges straight at Tim. Yuri hits Tim in the head, knocking him down. He starts going after Olivia, who steps back and falls through the floor to the level below. Tim gets up and pushes Yuri down as well. Then he grabs Olivia and runs toward the basement. Tim blocks Yuri from getting through the door on the other side and tells Olivia, "You open the wall." Olivia enters the correct pattern, and the wall starts opening. But just then, Yuri makes it through the door. He and Tim begin to fight. Tim yells to Olivia, "Go!" Yuri was about to stab Tim with a knife, but Olivia rushes back and strikes Yuri with an axe, saving Tim. The two of them finally make it outside. Daylight was streaming in from the other side. But the moment they step outside, they discover that their entire city has been surrounded by the same black wall. Every building is covered by it. There's not a single person in sight. Just then, Olivia spots their old van. They both get in and drive away from there. On the radio, they hear the news. The initial fire had started at the Nano Defense Company, and due to the fire, the system crashed. That crash triggered a secret defense protocol in the area. The black wall was that defense system, and now it had sealed off the entire city. And with that, friends, our story ends right here. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you again in the next one.